Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, December 1st, 2025. This is number 144 in our series of Nerds broadcast, and tonight we are featuring a conversation on the film Popeye from 1980. You know, Popeye is a comic character that has been around a very, very long time. I have a story to tell about the artist that drew the cartoon. And when you talk about cartoons being created and made into live action, we're going all the way back to 1933, where the inception of the character Popeye the Sailor began. And there was something about that story regarding this sailor who took on all types of adventures, challenges, and fought for the good guy, fought against the bullies, and really just tried to make his way through. But he was not an educated guy, but he had world experience because of his travels as a sailor. And in 1980, a live action film was produced starring Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall. And this was really the first time that the character had been brought to the cinemas in live action. Paramount Pictures distributed the film, and it was produced by Robert Evans. And we're talking about in the early days of the Disney Studios, Walt Disney Productions and Robert Evans Productions and King Features, which was the cartoon's original production banner and company that produced the Popeye the Sailor comics. So, like I said, this had a long lineage of history being brought to the what they call the silver screen for the first time. So we're going to talk about that a little bit this evening as I welcome my brother and partner in crime. We got Drew Titan in the building with us this evening. What's going on with you, Drew? How you feel this evening?
Man, listen, when you told me we was talking about this, you gotta understand, this is nostalgia right here. I might have saw this 3 times in the theater, and when it finally came to home box office, watch this, y'all. Stormy, ask people in the chat, what's home box office? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. They don't know.
Does anyone know what home box office was?
Office is? Do you know what that is? They don't know. I bet they don't know. Well, anyway, when it came on home box office, and it came on, and I would sit and watch it and watch it and watch it. This is one of my favorite translations. You gotta understand, comic book to movie translations. There's a few movies that nailed it. 1980, I was 5 years old, but I remember this movie very well. You remember back in the day, Stormy, when you used to be able to watch movies, and if you came in late, you could sit there and watch it up until the point where you saw.
Yes.
You could really sit in the theaters all day. And
Right.
I went to this movie theater that was around my way back in the days. There was only 2 screens, and it was Popeye and one of them, and I forgot what the other, whatever was hot in 1980 was next door. But I remember it was Popeye, and outside 2 arcade games. One was it was Space Invaders and something else. I forget. But me and my brother went in to see that with his friends, and we sat there and watched it like 2 times, and then we went back and I watched it again, and then when it hit the box office, nobody said it in the chat. It's HBO, y'all.
Yeah.
It stands for home box office. It's HBO. And when it finally came to HBO, because you have to wait like a year for a movie to leave the theater, and then it comes to home. Now you guys, a movie will be in there in the theater for 6 months, and then in 30 days it's on Netflix or something. So I would watch it every time it came on, and I gotta tell you, this. As far as acting is concerned, you might, I don't know, it's strange because this is a goofy movie and everything is spun off of the cartoon. But he should have gotten an award for this. This was so on point. They brought the cartoon to life. And it was this movie and Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Yeah.
Was really brought to life.
You
But
know,
if you haven't seen this live action Popeye starring Robin Williams, God rest his soul. He deleted himself. This was one of his, to me, this was one of his greatest acting gigs right here, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. And I remember Robin Williams when he appeared on Happy Days as Mork from Ork. And
oh man, I forgot he appeared on Happy Days as Mork.
Yeah, and he had a showdown with the Fonz because he was an alien that had come into the town of, I believe Happy Days was supposed to be based in Milwaukee, if I'm not.
Yes, it was Milwaukee.
Yeah. And so Mork's spaceship crashed in Milwaukee, and he came across, Fonz and Richie Cunningham and
Mhm.
Mouth Ralph and all of those guys. Uh, and he was really weird and stuff. The way he talked, he's like, "I'm Mork from Ork, Nanu Nanu." You remember that?
Yep.
He used to say.
Yep.
And the Fonz was like, "Oh, hey, this guy," And it was so, in the '70s, that kind of thing was because Fonz, he was uber cool.
Yep.
That's what he represented and everything. And I remember when he was into it with Mork, and he went to like step 2 Mork or whatever, and Mork did some kind of gesture and froze him up or something, and he couldn't
Yeah.
move. But it was a very popular episode, which led to Robin Williams getting his own TV show playing Mork from Ork in a show called Mork and Mindy.
Okay, Mindy.
And, so the way he behaved, he was always a high-strung comedian.
Mhm.
And he was very spontaneous in his actions. He was always gyrating and moving left to right. He was like really fast and everything. And there was no one like Robin Williams before he came along. So that was new. It was refreshing. It was something. And the producers that made this film realized that that guy could actually play Popeye.
Yeah.
And so when they cast him in this role, and believe you me, there have been many incarnations since that they've talked about remaking another modern Popeye epic. Some have even,
I don't know who could do it, bro.
dude, they've had Will Smith cast, they've had Jason Statham, they've had The Rock, they've had John Cena. Yeah, it's out there. If you Google that, what I'm just talking about.
Oh, John Cena. Okay.
Dude, there are tons of these, and then there are AI commercials or trailers that have been made with the very people I've mentioned, because they kind of want to maybe like revisit this, or maybe they're trying to drum up interest for it. But let me tell you something. Those people who were behind this film, they did it right. They did it with justice. Even the theatrical poster that I put up here with Popeye, Olive Oil, and that's Sweet Pea at their feet down there. If you look at his forearms, they got that right, because that's how he was drawn in the comics. He had these big bulging forearms with his anchor tattoos on them, and then he had, like, there's a great scene in the movie where he gets in a boxing ring and he boxes this big old giant dude, right? And when he jumped, and they did it like the cartoon, like he was dressed in his sailor outfit, and they was like, "Popeye, you got to get in there," and so he leaped over the camera. The camera is filming him coming down the what do you call it? Not the bleachers. He's coming down the bleachers, and he leaps over the camera. You see him jump up, but when the camera cuts to him landing in the ring, he's got a tank top shirt on and some shorts.
His outfit changed.
Yeah, his outfit changed, and you can see his calves were big and fat like his forearm.
Do you remember how he knocked dude out?
Yeah, when he twisted his fist.
He twisted his
around,
fist.
like he's doing the cartoons. Like he's winding
man.
it up, and he was boom, and he.
There are so many things in this film that it'll mess you up. And I gotta say, well, two things. You reminded me of something. My cousin had the Mork and Mindy dolls, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had Mork because he showed up in an egg. You remember that?
Right.
And he used to be like, Nanu, Nanu, in the intro. And he lands and his spaceship was an egg. So my cousin had it. You open up the egg and the Robin Williams doll is in it. It was spectacular. But in Universal Studios Florida, Stormy, there's a part, and if y'all in the chat ever been to Universal Studios Florida, Stormy, the nostalgia in that park is like, there was a part of the park where I just sat down, man. I was like, yo, look at this stuff, man. they pay homage to all of the old comic book strips.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sunday, remember the Sunday funnies?
Yes, yes.
All of them, you see Betty Boop there and everything. And there's a place called Wimpy's Burger Shack. And they have a big old life-size statue of Wimpy there. And on, I think I sent you did I send you the picture? They have like a plate of his burgers just sitting on a table. I mean, you can't move it or nothing. But I said, wow, look at his burgers. And he's standing there eating a burger. It's like, wow, the themes in there is like crazy.
And what was Wimpy's famous quote?
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Yeah. See, Jose knows, he been there. Man, it's beautiful in there. If I'm telling you, when we do, eventually we're gonna do a meetup and it's gonna be in Florida. I recommend when we do the meetup in Florida that we all get together as a group and go to Universal Studios and Epic, because we're gonna have so much fun in there. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, we should do Orlando. We should do the meetup after New York. I'm gonna talk to the general and ask him if we could do Orlando. That'll be great, man. That'll be so great.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
But you know, Popeye was the cast of characters, man, for this show. And when I say show, I'm talking about the cartoon, because they ran it as a serial, you know, a serial. And a serial meant an ongoing segment of short stories that were linked. Right. Even though they'll have a finish to sometimes, and sometimes they'll have a cliffhanger and you have to go see the next one or whatever. But they ran usually in movie theaters, and they were short, sometimes like a minute or two or something like that, just enough to keep the attention of the audience in between films playing and stuff like that, or people getting up to go for a restroom break and watching movies. And the characters all had standout qualities that defined them, and they became classical, you know. Like we talk about Popeye, and I just talked about his physical build, and that little corn pipe he used to smoke from, and Olive Oil, who was, you know, that was it turned out to be his love interest, but typically he and Olive would cross paths with something, or there was an underlying like longing between the two for one another, but they both tried to pretend like they didn't like each other and stuff like that. But Popeye would always end up having to save Olive from something, just like Superman always would have to save Lois Lane from stuff, you know. And then you had the character Bluto, also known as Brutus. He was always a dastard and shisty type guy, a bully, a guy who would always come in and elbow Popeye out of the way. And especially if Popeye was anywhere around Olive, he's gonna show Popeye up because he was so big and brute-like, and Popeye was scrawny compared to Bluto. So it was like, you know, get out of here, you runt, you know. He would tell
that
him
sort of thing.
And again, all of the characters stood out. We just talked about Wimpy, you know, and Popeye has a dad, and his dad is called Poop Deck Pappy, okay? And he looks just like Popeye, but older with whiskers, right? Now, the funny thing was, Drew and chat, in the movie, I was wondering how they were going to show that, right? They were going to show Poop Deck Pappy. And when I saw who they cast to play Poop Deck, I was like, look at it. And remember the scene, Drew, when Popeye ran across Poop Deck Pappy and he was looking at him like, he was like, hey, he's got a pipe like mine, you know. He was like, you know, because Popeye always would mumble under his breath and stuff. Like the audience can hear it, but like who he's in the presence of, they couldn't hear it. But he'd be he's kind of shisty looking character. He's saying stuff. And Poop Deck is like, you don't look nothing like me,
not Pappy.
Man, they were arguing at each other and everything because it was like, he's like, use me, Pappy. He was like, I don't know you.
He said, I don't know you. Poop Deck Pappy was a deadbeat.
Yeah, he was.
It
was like he looked just like Popeye, man. It was so great that they cast him. What's the actor's name? That's the guy from help me out, Drew.
I know who you're talking about. He played that role. What was he in? Real big in the 80s.
Lost in Space, wasn't it? That's the guy. Was it Herman Ray Walston? But wasn't he in Lost in Space? He played the guy with the because Lost in Space, they had the robot and stuff.
Maximilian.
Yeah. But that's the guy, but he was older by the time they made this movie. And man, they made him up. He looked just like Robin Williams, but he was older.
He sure did.
It was so cool, man. I love that, bro. I loved it. It's like you had to be a person who watched the Popeye cartoons to really get the film. And they recreated, Drew and chat, they recreated the whole village that Popeye arrived in because he arrived from a storm, remember?
Yeah.
There was a huge storm at the beginning of the film, and he had this little boat that brought him to what we now know as Popeye's village. And this was an image of Popeye's village here, right? Taken from daytime. They built an entire set on the coast of an island, which is still there. And now it's an amusement park or like a museum like place. You could go there now.
Wow.
This was built for the film. They filmed the movie there, and it still stands to this day. So you could actually visit Popeye's village, man. I thought that was so cool when I was doing a little bit of research for the film and found this out. Look at that. That's like got to be one of Hollywood's biggest.
Where's that again?
Where is it? Let me double check because I can let you guys know. Yeah, let me. Hold
on. That's iconic right there, man. That is iconic, man. That again, you never seen this movie, man. Adrian Vest says it's on Malta. I mean, Malta, I know is a drink.
Yeah, it is. It's called Popeye's Village, which is known as Sweet Haven Village, and it's a purpose-built film set village that has been converted into a small attraction fun park, consisting of a collection of rustic and ramshackle wooden buildings. It is located at Prajet Bay, Anchor Bay, 3 kilometers from the village core of Melania, Malta. So that's somewhere over in Europe, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a place that you can actually visit there. That's where they filmed the movie.
That is awesome.
That is awesome, though. That is like, something, and it's a piece of history, But yeah,
that is awesome, man. That is awesome.
Here's the image of Robin Harris and Shelley Duvall as Popeye and Olive with Sweet Pea. Now, some people thought that Sweet Pea was their child, but Sweet Pea wasn't like an abandoned kid.
Yeah,
and he was special. He had like gifts, and in the film, he didn't talk, but he would make these whistling sounds. Remember, Drew?
Yeah.
He would make these little whistling sounds when he's excited or if he's trying to alert someone to danger or something like that. And then he would do stuff because he was such a small child, but he was so smart. He would do stuff to help Popeye out of a jam and stuff like that. It was really cool, and that's how Sweet Pea was in the comics as well.
Yeah, Sweet Pea was sharp.
And
You know,
Shelley Duvall looked just like Olive Oil when they made her up in her costume, didn't she?
they casted these people correctly. And me seeing it as a 5-year-old kid, you know, I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this is them.
Yeah.
This is them. You know, so I don't know what the casting, if they were to remake it. I don't think Popeye is popping like that today. But
what
John
I would
Cena
like
kind of
to
looked like
also-
Popeye in the face. But
what I would like to acknowledge too was that Robin Williams played him like the character from the cartoon, spoke and everything. He
Yeah.
captured that perfectly. When you would hear him talk, he sounded like he stepped right off the pages of the cartoon, because he, even down to his little laugh and everything, and like I said, his little mumbling and grumbling and stuff. And he even would scrunch his face up and make like one eye, you know, kind of tight, and the other eye open and everything. He did a great, and you said it right, Drew. He should have got an award for this. He really should have, because
it was also a musical. It wasn't just blind, you know,
thank you
ridiculous.
for
They just
reminding
sang-
me, because that was something that I wanted to mention too. They had some wonderful song cues throughout the film. And remember when he arrived to the village, they were singing and working, remember?
That's right.
And he was looking around and everybody was like, every day is zoo, zoo, zoo.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they were singing and stuff. And everything was a song moment in there for different scenes, that you go from this scene to the other scene. But it was perfect for it was a Disney film cartoon in live action. That's what it was. Just like if you were watching Pocahontas or something like that, it was live action, and they did it very well. I think at the time that the movie was made, there wasn't a deep enough appreciation for it. But now, if you look at reviews and stuff, looking back, many critics and everything have changed their tune a great deal, because
They appreciate it later.
Well done. Yes.
Yeah, they they appreciate something like this later. Like I said, I can't express it enough. This is like a timeless film, because it's like watching a cartoon. From the fights, what's his name that they got to play Bluto was perfect. He was a big guy on the block. He was a bully. And these guys, they damn near got powers, you know.
Yeah, that was Paul Smith.
Paul Smith.
He used to always play characters like that, you know, big burly guys, strong guys.
Y'all might remember him from Flash Gordon, the Hawkman, the leader. That was him.
Do you know he was actually in a Bruce Lee movie too?
Really? I didn't know that.
He was in a Bruce Lee movie called Return of the Tiger. Bruce Lee and Angela Mao were in that. They were both playing like undercover cops or whatever, and he was the bad guy in that film. And they had to take him down in the third act of the movie. And he was like picking people up and throwing them around and stuff like he did in Popeye. Wow. But Paul Smith was a guy that they did. Now, for trivia's sake, he was originally cast as Roper in Enter the Dragon.
What?
Yeah. And I don't remember who it was, but one of the people on the production staff, it could have been Fred Reintrout. It wasn't Bob Klaus, the director, because I think it was Bob Klaus who wanted to hire him. But they were like, dude, that's not gonna look good. Bruce Lee is like 5'7" and Paul Smith is like 6'2" or something. Like it's gonna really look bad because he's a big burly dude and everything. So they X'd him out, and then it was this other guy who had played in some movies in the 70s. I can't think of his name. And then it went from that guy to John Saxon. But John Saxon was not the original actor who was going to be cast as Roper.
I never I never knew that. What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. That's some trivia for me. Goodness.
And like I said, he was very popular in the 70s, Paul Smith. He was.
Wow.
Very popular.
One of my favorite scenes, because he had a crush on Olive Oil.
Mm-hmm.
And when I remember the song, there you go. I remember the song. They were like, "Well, what are you gonna do, Olive?" She was like, "Well, he's large." That's cool. Man, when we got a little older, right? I was in school, and Lord forgive us, but kids are mean. There was a big girl, and she's a little like obese, and she had a little snapdragon mouth on her because people always talking about her, so she had to defend herself. And one of my friends started singing that song. She's large. I was like, oh man, damn it. Man, that was messed up, man. She chasing him around the schoolyard. He's like, you ain't gonna catch me. It was crazy funny, man. But I remember when he walked into the event, he was picking roses, he was picking petals off of the flower. He was like, she loves me. She loves me not. And then he was like, she loves me. And she walks in there with Popeye. And he got so mad, he closed his eyes. It was like, "Urgh!" And when he opened his eyes, everybody was wearing red.
Red, yeah.
Oh, man, that was funny, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he decked Popeye because Popeye wasn't trying. He didn't want no smoke. So when he punched him, he rolled down the what was that? It was like the boardwalk or whatever that was. He rolled down a mountain, and they had him rolling like in the cartoon.
Like a wheel, yeah. He was like shaped in the shape of a wheel, rolling.
Right.
And those were the kind of things. See, like when I saw the movie, I got all of that. And I think the critics who watched the film thought that moments like that took them out of the movie, but it shouldn't have, because this is a live action cartoon. And it just, those kind of things, like I don't want to get too far ahead of the film, but when he was in the bar and he had to fight those dudes in the bar, and they were all jumping out there, and he started beating them up, and like, remember, he was hitting the dude's head like a speed bag. He was, and then he started hitting him with one hand, and then he took his pipe out his mouth, and he was looking around. He was smiling. It was just like the cartoon. You know what I'm saying? It had me cracking up, man. And then he broke out into his song. I'm Popeye, the sailor.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am. He dancing. And when he was on the boat, he did that salute. I could not figure out, was that really him? Was that really Robin Williams standing there, or a statue? The way they did it, it was so funny. He was standing on that boat.
That was crazy.
Man, that baby got to be about 48 years old now, right? 45?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder what that baby's doing.
Or 50, yeah. But see, here's a great shot of him on the ship, and there's Poop Deck Pappy to his left there, and Wimpy, and I forget what the preacher's name is, that's on the other side of him to his right with the black on. But look at the size of that anchor. Now, see, Popeye, he just picked that anchor up and throw it in the water. It's like, okay, it's a cartoon, so it's like he's strong like that, but it's like it's really surreal. A guy shouldn't be able to pick that anchor up like that.
They had Popeye versus somebody on Death Battle. Did you see that? It was a few months ago.
No, I didn't see it.
It was Popeye versus, I forgot, but I think Popeye won because he has powers, man. He's superhuman based off of what they do in the cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous. I forgot who he fought, but he won. Like
Drew,
things
let
that
me
he's
ask
done
you
in a
something about this, since we're really into the meat of talking about this movie, because it's something that I felt, but I want to get your thought on it. I really enjoyed this movie, and from what I'm hearing from you, you did as well.
Yes.
Shouldn't this film have gotten a sequel, bro?
I'm conflicted because this was so good. It was one long episode of there you go. It was one long episode of a cartoon. Now, there was no cliffhangers. You beat up Bluto. I'm not sure. This is one of those cult classics. It's like, I'm cool without a sequel because it's Popeye. However, if they made a sequel 2 years later, let's say they made it in 83, 84, I think, it was Saitama, wasn't it? I'm reading the chat. It was Popeye versus Saitama. And I think Popeye won, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but that was crazy. But maybe in the sequel, they could have added Alice the Goon, because there was a couple of characters missing. They could have added an Alice the Goon, and who else? There was somebody else missing from this. But Alice the Goon was a big deal in the later episodes of Popeye when they re-released it.
Yeah.
There was Popeye in black and white, and then there was Popeye in color. And they wasn't calling him Bluto in the new ones. They were calling him Brutus.
Brutus, yeah.
Right. And maybe Alice the Goon. And if you want to just get rid of Bluto and bring in another actor and call him and say this is his brother Brutus, because I'm not sure, Stormy, but weren't they two different guys? Because Brutus was fat.
Yeah,
Bluto was Diesel.
Brutus and Bluto were two different types of guys, but they were built on the same archetype,
Right. And
but
in the early
they did
ones,
have a couple
60s,
of different appearances.
In the early ones, certain when they drew Bluto, he didn't have a beard. He was clean shaven. So I think in this one, this was Brutus, because he was a chubby guy. Not sure, but if they made a sequel, he was Bluto in the movie. So if they made a sequel, they could have brought in Brutus and brought in Alice the Goon. If y'all don't remember Alice the Goon, he was from Goon Island, and there was a woman, and she used to just walk around. She was in love with Popeye. She was a stalker. I love Popeye. It's funny as hell. There you go. That picture right there. He was like, Peppy.
Yes, Big Pappy. He was like, I don't know you. He was like, and they look just alike.
They give you a lot of kids, give a lot of toys. And what do? They make a lot of noise. Oh man, and they broke out into a song after this.
Yeah, it was like, that's what was so great about the movie, man. They would break out into songs in a heartbeat, man. And I remembered the songs too. It was like they were catchy, and you just sit up and you listen to the song a couple of times. Next thing you know, you're singing it, right? It's like, man. Yeah. But oh my goodness, I love this film. And Poop Deck Packy, remember this? Do you remember? He was like, okay, you say you're my son, prove it. What did he do, Drew?
He tried to make him eat the spinach.
Right. And Popeye was like, yeah, I don't want no spinach. I hate spinach. He was like,
no, he said, nope.
Like, you're no son of mine.
You're no son of mine. Tried to make him eat that damn spinach. And of course, as y'all know, the spinach saved his life at the end of the film.
Yup.
And that was thanks to Bluto. He said, yo, eat. He was shoving it in his mouth. It was disgusting. We was in the theater like, ew. He was like, see you at Davy Jones' locker.
And they made the spinach look like it do in the cartoon. It like in a can that just had big letters on its head.
Yeah.
Spinach across the
man.
He was stuffing it in Popeye's mouth, and Popeye was like, ah.
By the way, in Universal Studios, in that same area, there's an open can of spinach, like sitting on the table. It's letting you know that Popeye was there.
Listen, man, do you remember when he hit Bluto with that power punch and his arm got really big?
Bro.
Like in the
We were like, why is his arm so big? It said, dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh. He beat up that octopus and that thing went flying. Oh, man, that was hilarious.
But that was after eating the spinach, you
Eating
know?
the spinach.
Man, this was great, bro. This was a great movie. I don't know why more people don't talk about this film.
This is a cult classic right here. If you never
It
seen
popped
it,
into my head, you know, just over the weekend. I said, I'm gonna pop this up on Drew and see if he don't mind talking about Popeye, man.
I remember this movie very well, man. Very well. This is my childhood right here. This is right up there with Superman. Let me see. Empire Strikes Back. I had to go back and watch Star Wars. But Empire Strikes Back, Popeye, Superman 2. Do you remember? I wasn't really a fan of that. You remember this movie called The Black Stallion?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I don't know. It's a fucking horse. It was a black horse.
Yeah, it was a horse. Yeah.
Yep. You know, all the Benji movies about that little dog. You know, I was made to read the Hardy Boy mysteries in the books. I hated that, but whatever. And listening to James Taylor. Hell yeah. But this right here, you can't go wrong with this film, y'all. You cannot go wrong with this. It's a fun film. And like I said, it won't be outdated. It's not outdated. It's a cartoon movie.
Right.
It's not outdated. This is great, man. You know, Jimmy Bernard, I heard about that. I never watched it. You ever watched that, the movie 1941, Stormy?
With John Belushi.
Yeah.
I saw it like many years ago, only partially. And
yeah,
I didn't watch the whole thing. That's when he was that pilot or something. Belushi, John Belushi. I want to take a quick moment and I see your donation over there on Rumble. Appreciate that, bro.
Yep.
Appreciate that. I wanted to take a quick moment and give a little bit of information on the film here. We've kind of covered some of this, but just to let you guys know, because I like to do this when the information is available. It says Popeye premiered on December 6, 1980. Interesting. This is December 1st. We're talking about the movie. What a coincidence.
Wow, that's funny.
In Los Angeles, California, and opened in the rest of the United States the following week. Distributed by Paramount, with Disney handling the international distribution through Buena Vista International. During opening weekend, the film grossed $6.3 million, ultimately taking in $60 million worldwide against a budget of $20 million. When originally released, Popeye received negative reviews from critics, though its reception has improved over time. So the film had a $20 million budget, and they built that island, remember? Yep. Popeye Village, they built that, and it brought in $60 million. So it still turned a pretty nice profit for 1980.
Wow. This is has it been remastered on Blu-ray? It had to have been.
It has. It's been on Blu-ray. There was a 2017 deluxe edition of the film where all the songs from the movie in the original order of the film reinstated. Everything is Food, and included a second disc of demo versions of the songs sung by Nielsen and the cast. In 2018, 14 of the demos were released on vinyl as music from the motion picture Popeye, the Harry Nielsen demos. But yeah, they had a lot of songs on there.
There was a album for this?
Yeah, the f- the first disc got 20 songs on it. The second disc has 18 songs on it.
Oh man, I did not know that. But all
Yeah.
of that was done with there had to been a serious like I said, man, this was like Broadway stuff when they broke out in the song and dance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I figured this would be a very serious thing. You know, but this was, man, this film was great, man. Robin Williams really killed this role, man. He really did. Really, really did. And just to digress on Robin Williams for a second, this man had a body of work that you couldn't believe, man. He was a
Yeah.
clean a comedian. He didn't drop F-bombs in his stand-up. His stand-up was very it was unique. He was very animated on stage. He spoke at a high pace. He didn't skip a beat. He was actually funny, genuinely funny. He was family friendly. Pretty damn good actor. He had a good resume. So, you know, it really confused me to know that he was dealing with depression and he, you know, took his own life. That was like sad, man. That was like sad because, you know, you would never think of, oh, this guy seemed like the happiest guy on planet Earth, bro. He really did. He really, really did, man. And, you know, that was like a shocker, bro. That was a shocker. I'll never forget it. I was at work and I just was turned on the news. I said, wait, what? Why? I was like crazy, man. This guy, Robin Williams, had a body of work and he was genuinely funny. Whenever he was casted in the film, he brought it. He brought it, man. So, you know.
Yeah, he did a film, if I'm not mistaken, called The Final Cut.
And he was playing some sort of like serial killer or something.
Yeah, where he worked in one of those places that develop film for you. Like, you remember how you used to drop your film off at Walgreens to get it?
You know, I never saw that, but my boy saw it. He said, yo, Robin was playing a serial killer in that or something. I said, what?
It was
that was a switch.
Yeah, that was one of his biggest serious roles. Right. You know, because he played Mrs. Doubtfire in a couple of films and stuff like that. But when he made that film, The Final Cut, and then there was another movie he did that kind of went into that direction. He showed his acting chops. He really, Robin was really something, man. Of course, he did the Good Will Hunting and Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poets Society, The Fisher King, The World According to Garp. Did you ever see that?
Oh, great film, bro.
Yes.
Oh, man, that was great.
The World According to Garp was a great film. I remember seeing
I watched that several times when it was on home box office.
Yes.
When I'm 64. That was a great film, man. And he got back at that dog, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, man. Yeah, I forgot about that film. I saw that several times. World According to God, man. Oh, man. Yeah, you went back, Stormy. That came out like what? 82, 80, 83?
82. Just 82, a couple of years after Popeye. Yep.
I saw that. I didn't see it in the movies. I saw it at home.
I saw it in the movies because it was playing with something else that we had gone to see.
Double feature? Grindhouse.
Mm-hmm.
World According to God. Wow.
Now, you know, it's interesting. I mentioned the film, The Final Cut. That's not the name of the movie. The name of the movie was 1 Hour Photo. But I don't know why I had The Final Cut in my head.
But I knew what you was talking about, though.
Yeah, but that was the movie, 1 Hour Photo. Yeah.
Man, that's great, man. You know what? I'm going to go watch this film. I think it's on... Yeah, I'm gonna go watch this.
I have the DVD. I don't have it on Blu-ray, but I do have the DVD. They say Paramount Pictures released the Blu-ray of it in 2020 for the 40th anniversary.
Wow!
So it is on Blu-ray now.
Are there any like extended versions or scenes they left out?
Yeah, interesting that you asked that, because as I was reading about the film, let me get back to where it says. There is something about the length film and how it was cut.
Mm.
Hold on.
He said The World According to God. Oh my, that's a great movie. It's about growing up. Oh, that's great, man. I wonder how many of y'all in the chat actually saw Popeye, this actual film. Adrian Vest's Bicentennial. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. Good Will Hunting, yeah. Yeah, Robin Williams got a crazy good body of work. I think I've seen a lot of his stuff. But World According to God, he had beef with a dog too. Bit him on the ear, did the Mike Tyson Holyfield on him. Adrian said, I got a VHS copy. Wow. You know what? I'm about to order this thing off of Amazon. It's a, you plug your VCR, you plug the audio video into this device and you play it off your TV. And as it's playing, it's recording onto a SD card. And you take the device, you plug it into your hard drive of choice, and you can drop and drag the video on to your computer. That's just what I needed. That's just what I needed, because I got so many boxing videos. It's at my dad's house in a case. And I got a lot of things to transfer onto there.
Okay, I found the information I was looking for, because I know I read one, because I did do a little research on the film before we went live for the show. When the film was released, it was released with a running time of 114 minutes.
It wasn't too long. That's right.
But when it was brought on home video, they released it on VHS and DVD,
right,
with Walt Disney Home Video with the short 92-minute runtime. So it was cut when it was released on home video.
I wonder what the hell that's about.
I don't know, but I know that now that I know that, I want to see the whole damn thing. I want to
know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to see what's up with that, because I'm checking right now if the Blu-ray. Let me see if the Blu-ray is.
Somebody in the chat tell me, how the hell did Popeye beat One Punch Man? How'd that happen? I forgot. But he won. Popeye got powers, man. He's superhuman. But he beat Saitama. How did he do that? You know, when the cartoons get stupid and he punches Bluto and Bluto flies around the world and lands back in the same spot in front of him. I mean, shit like that. They factored in.
Okay, the Blu-ray is 114 minutes. So that's the original theatrical cut.
Okay. So why is the other one shorter?
I don't know. But that's, I told you I have it on VHS. I'm not on DVD. And so that must mean that my DVD of it is the shortened version, which I gotta upgrade. I gotta get with my extended version. And yeah, gotta get the upgraded. And it's got a 3 out of 5 stars on Blu-ray.com.
Hey, yo, man. We're doing New York this year. Well, in 2026, the meetup. 2027, I'm already calling for Orlando. I'm already calling for it. Stormy, you're going to love it, bro. You're going to love it. You are going to love it. There's a part of that park where you're just going to just start strolling like, man, this is some amazing stuff. They have a Mount Rushmore of the characters from Bullwinkle. Georgia the Jungle, I think, is on it. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I said, what is this? And here go my kids. Who is that? I'm like, oh yeah, just shut up. This is not for you.
Bro, the Popeye Blu-ray is only $7.99.
Oh wow, that's bought. Amazon?
Yep.
Yeah, that's bought. Matter of fact, that's gonna be bought tonight. That's gonna be bought tonight. I really love this film.
So do I. It's like, it's an amazing look back at, cinema history. It's like when we used to go to the movies and really get entertained.
Yeah. I mean, people today don't have that attention span, but we do, And again, this is one of those movies that, see, the reason why we do this show, family, is because we talk about things that takes you back to a time in your life where things were a lot more simple. A lot of the things that we talk about here, it takes me to a time where I didn't pay any goddamn bills. And that always feels good. But the opposite is this. When I mentioned Disney World to my father, you got to see his face. I remember going through the park. We having fun. He's just sitting down, and he had this look on his face that he was tired, man. But you know what? He did it for us. So when I first took the kids to Disney World, there's in the Magic Kingdom, there's a race car ride. Now I did tell my dad, I said, look, it's they've learned since the 80s. Before, you just be standing out in that sun cooking. I said they don't do that no more. They got like shade under the lines, and they have fans blowing with a water mist blowing on you. So they do take care of you in that aspect. But I got inside the race car, and I looked at baby girl, and I said, yo, my dad has a video from 1985, Stormy, of him driving in the car, and my sister was driving, and she was like 5. So I'm in there with my phone, and what do you think I started doing? Did the same thing with baby girl, and I sent it to my pops, and man, that man teared up. He said, man, do you remember? I said, that's why I did it. That's why I did it. I said, I remember you sitting in there with your daughter, my sister, and she was driving and crashing into shit. And same thing here. And it was just great. It was just great, man. It was just great. The nostalgia is great, man. Y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna love it when we go. But yeah, this is when we do these shows, man, it takes me back to a simpler time. Everything we've spoken about, from school lunch to breakdancing on cardboard boxes to movies like Popeye. This is great stuff, man. This is great stuff. And I just thought of another subject that we can talk about. And this will be more my lane than yours, Stormy, since you're a little older than me. I want to talk about G.I. Joe.
Okay.
I know there was 2 versions of G.I. Joe. There was G.I. Joe in the 70s with the the bigger dolls, and then they re-released it in the 80s when I was in elementary school. Loved it. So we could talk about G.I. Joe. My knowledge of G.I. Joe ends like around 86, 87. Because then when they re-released it in the 90s, I was like not interested. I was like in the girls and everything else, you know what I'm saying? I outgrew it. But I do remember G.I. Joe in the 70s and the 80s. So, you know, there's a guy I follow, Stormy, on Instagram. Man, this dude got all the toys from back in the days, bro. I don't know how he got them damn things. I don't know why they such in great condition. But we be in his comment section like, yo, that Storm Shadow, that sci-fi. We're naming the characters. It's like, oh my gosh, man. He has everything. He got some of the. I thought I had a lot of stuff. My cousin had a lot of stuff. This guy, whoever he is on Instagram, he has everything. He has the queen of all mothers. Something called, not the Defiant. That was the Rocket. He had, what was the battleship called? I only knew one person growing up that had it. Because if you had an apartment, you couldn't put that in there. It was the size of a piece of furniture. And it was an aircraft carrier. Oh my God, man. I only knew one person. When I went to my aunt's house, he lived across the street. And I remember in the summer, he'd bring it out on the lawn and we go across the street and play. That's it. And then I knew my cousin Billy knew somebody that had it, but that thing was a piece of furniture. That thing was huge. You sat like 2 or 3 planes on it. The toys was big. We pulled up one day. We was like, yo, you got it? And we brought all, you know what I'm saying? We was like, what? It was a white kid. And I ran in the house and brought out my toys, brought up his toy. Man, he was a cool kid. I can't remember that kid's name, but he was mad cool. He was mad. I think his father was a judge or something. But man, it was huge, man. And I only knew 2 people that had it. That thing was huge. So yeah, we're gonna talk about G.I. Joe. But it brings me back to a simpler times, man. That's why, I love this show. And this movie right here is right up there with everything. Everything, man. The one of the million times that I've watched this damn thing, I can't even remember what I was eating when I watched it.
Yeah.
Yep. Watch this. There were certain things that weren't invented when I was watching this, y'all. The cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, wasn't around. How about that? Oh man,
I'm gonna watch this again. I just want to see that scene where he fighting those guys in the bar, man. And like I said, when he was beating the guy up and he was using his head like a speed bag. And
that was
looking around. He was looking around the room, took his pipe out of his mouth, and was hitting him with one hand.
Oh, wait, Stormy. You know what's funny? When this came out, I was in, the gym was the babysitter. And I remember the guys training, talking about this movie, and they were acting out that scene.
Yeah, right.
You saw when he was like, oh, that was so funny, man. That was so funny. That was so funny.
And when we were just talking about this one particular scene, if you don't see the movie for nothing else, you gotta see it for this scene.
This scene right here. It's the boxing scene, y'all. You remember when dude spit in his face? It was like a gallon of water.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know why I'm laughing? Because
oh man,
you remember when Derek Chisora did that to Vladimir?
Yeah.
Oh, I said he did the Popeye on him. I was crying.
Man. Let me tell you, bro. Certain things like, because and we're old enough to be able to look back fondly and remember certain things, but it's like younger folks of today will never have the cinematic experience that we enjoyed.
Right.
Because when we went to the movies, it was all about the movies. There were no distractions. There was nobody sitting where you wish they would turn their cell phone off because the light from their phone is distracting you while you trying to watch the movie and all that kind of stuff. Remember, Drew, the only thing that you would get pissed off in the theater is somebody that's seen the movie already trying to say, "Oh yeah, this the part where someone
That was annoying.
You know what I'm saying?" But that was pretty much it. Or somebody who got to get up right in the middle of the movie, you know, to go wherever they're going, whether they're going to get some popcorn or they going to the bathroom or whatever. It's like, oh man, would you sit down, please?
Man, it's annoying stepping up in front of you. I kind of like how they do it in the theaters now, where you have to reserve your seat.
Yes.
So there's no confusion. See, back in the days, y'all, it was every man for themselves. And sometimes they will oversell it. People, if the movie was really hot, people be sitting down in the aisles.
Yep.
Oh man. But this right here, oh, Stormy, want to go see this? My brother said, I'm going to concession stand. What do you want? I said, just give me some snow cones. And I mean the candies, the little candies, the chocolate candies. Give me some snow cones or a Kit Kat, or my favorite drink back then was a Sprite. Be all sugared up by the time we leave there. And I remember we left seeing Popeye. We went to the playground. I remember that. Oh, man, the days, man. I love this film, man. I love this film.
Yeah, it was a great experience. And like you said, I got a chance to see it in the theater, you know? So that kind of thing. And you know what, Drew? We should do a show. I'm going to write it down. We should do a show on remembering the cinematic experience, because it's different now. It's totally different. We used to see movies where, as an audience, a first run, because that's what they used to call it, right? A first run film, and the audience reaction and everything, people were so engaged. It didn't matter if you were black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or some other person from another country, not to exclude anyone. People would respond the same way and vibe off of it and everything, whether it was a moment of chills, a moment of thrills, a moment of victory, or whatever. It's like the audience would just roar with. The last time, Drew and chat, that I experienced that was when I went to see Avengers Infinity War, and when Thor arrived in Wakanda.
Oh man,
that moment right there, the audience freaking lost it, man. And it reminded me, I got chills, because being younger in the theaters and seeing Bruce Lee films and Jaws and stuff like that, this is Star Wars, this is Indiana Jones. Do you remember the scene? And we did Indiana Jones, right? We talked about Indiana Jones.
I think we did.
Yeah. Do
Raiders
you remember Raiders of the Lost Ark? You remember the famous scene where Indiana Jones is running through that desert village or whatever, and he's chasing those bad guys, right? And he gets out of his Jeep or whatever, and that one dude with the turban jumps out, and he's got that sword, and he's swinging the sword.
Oh my God, bro!
Swinging the sword around, and Indiana Jones looks at him and just pulls his
shot his ass
out, pow, smoked him, and then the whole audience just fell out.
Yo, I went to see that in the movie with my mom. You know, my mom was laughing for 10 straight minutes. Because everybody in there was like, that's how you do it. We ain't trying to play with you. Dude jumped out and said, hey. He was like, bang, and then turned around. We was like, yep, that's how you handle it.
Dude, that was
some dude in the theater said, yo, he from Harlem. I was dying.
Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, because, you know, I'm in Chicago, and their show at the movies was broadcast on what it was in Chicago. PBS is Channel 11, but it used to come on PBS. and at the movies. And when they did a at the movies review of that film, they laughed and everything about that scene. It was like the most famous scene outside of him switching that collectible thing that he got, that golden thing, and then that big boulder was chasing him down when he was running from that giant boulder. That boulder scene and him shooting old boy, that was like the most popular scene in the movie. Man, that was something else, bro.
I remember that. Look, Adrian said, "Yup, the USS Flag. That thing was Stormy. That thing that I'm talking about, that toy was 7 feet 5.
Wow.
You could not, if you had an apartment, you couldn't put it in there. You couldn't. You put it in the kids' room. You have to like stick it in the corner and throw something over it. That thing was 7 feet 5. Hell no. Hell no. That thing was big as hell. Because when we pulled up, Pops Park, we got out. I was like, yo, is that the flag? The kid said, sure is. I said, oh. My Pops like, yo, all right, man. You go across the street. You go ahead. Went across the street, was, I forgot a little homie name, too. He was mad cool. He had I didn't even need to bring my G.I. Joes. Everything I had, he had. Oh, my gosh. That was crazy.
That used to be fun, too, when growing up, when you had the collectible toys, and then, like, you might not have been able to get everything you wanted to get, but whatever you get, there was always somebody who had the opposite, or some more, or whatever. Y'all would get together and play together. That's what we used to do too.
Yep. Homie had everything, man. He had like he had 2 choppers. One of them came with this character named Wild Bill. Then the jet planes came with a character named Ace that had a parachute. You used to throw him in the air, and he'd fall down with the parachute would come out, and he would just glide down. It was so dope. But I remember he had that on his lawn. It was a nice summer day.
A kid that used to have that toy, the one with the parachute, because he used to go up and he'd go up in the house and throw it out the window, and then run out the house and come down, and he'd be floating down.
Oh man, that was so cool, man. I had a Popeye. Do you remember when they started releasing those home video games, but they look like mini arcade games? It was out in the 80s. They look like little arcade games. I have one at my dad's house. I have the Pac-Man one. I ain't put no batteries in it. We've had it since it came out, like in 1983. Mm-hmm. Well, I had a Popeye one. And all it was knocking Bluto off of the boardwalk into the water. And I love that game, man. I love that game. Then I had these handheld video games. They had a football game. My brother had a Donkey Kong game, and he had it outside, and he was playing in the snow, and it broke in his pocket. All the ink came out. It's crazy. Oh. Yeah, that sucked. But I remember that, man. I remember Jose say he had it. Yep. I had the Popeye one. And all it was colored, but it was like, let me see if I can find it. What was it? Popeye video game. Popeye video game 80s. Let me see the council. Where was it? Oh shit. Look at that. They got the flip game. That's not the one I had though. And I remember I hear the music. Let me see. What was it for? Video game. Let me see. 80s. Let me see. Mini video game. 80s. Sheesh. Is this? Nope. That's Nintendo. Wait a minute. It's not the arcade game. Oh, wait a minute. This is it. Stormy, I found it. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Wait a minute. This is it. This is what I had. Hold on. I found it. Oh, man. Mamecade. That's what it was called. The system that made it. It was no. That's the name. It wasn't. It was made by It was a tabletop game. That's it right there. If you could pull that up.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, Adrian. Of course, I had Nintendo Power. I was subscribed to that. I had a free subscription when I bought my Nintendo. This is the game right here.
The game has two modes, a game A and a game B. We're playing game B right now, as you can see by the upper hand, left corner.
See, he'll slug you and back you up.
A and B is Brutus is much more
You had to go.
And there's a swordfish
that swordfish would come and stab you.
Occasionally, that swordfish will creep up.
So you had to be quick. You had to go back and forth. You had to stick and move. Sometimes the swordfish will hit you in the butt and knock you back.
The whole point is to knock Brutus on the left-hand side.
But you got to keep hitting him until he falls in the water.
He's trying to knock you into
Love this game. You know what? It just stopped working for me one day. I just turned it on and it just didn't come on.
A can of spinach gets closer and closer to Olive Oil, who is tied up in
Love that game, man. Love that game. I played it every day. Played it every day. Let me see if the guy.
I was never much of a gamer, man, but I don't even remember that game because I wasn't playing the games. But
it's in the quiet. That's it. Tabletop. That's it right there. That's how it looked. Made by Nintendo. They had it. This was before they made the home console.
That dude is a straight up geek too. Look at all the stuff on the walls in the backdrop. Yeah.
He got Battle of the Planets back there. You see that?
Yeah.
Look at that. I remember this. This is what I had. This is what I had. And you just had a joystick and a button. And it took batteries. And then one day it just stopped working. And I was annoyed. Man, that's what I had. The tabletop. They had this. They had a Donkey Kong. But this was the closest thing I could get to boxing. So, I asked for this. That's what I got. But I have one. I have a Pac-Man one at my dad's. It's in his garage. I looked it up on eBay how much they're being sold for. It was a couple of $100 now. I mean, you ain't gonna be rich. I said, let's just keep it. I don't even know if it works. We'll buy some batteries and put it in it. But how the hell did he get a hold? How does he keep this? And how come his shit didn't blow out like mine? It's not right. Damn it. Hating. Anyway. But man, this was a fun show, Stormy, man. This was, boy, got me thinking all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, that one came to me spontaneously. It wasn't even one that I had written down, for us to do. But I was like, man, Popeye.
Yeah, this is great, man. Oh, man, did we do Buck Rogers?
No, we didn't do Buck Rogers. We did Flash Gordon, but not Buck Rogers.
We should do Buck Rogers when we get a minute. We should do Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica, the bootleg Star Wars. But it was good within its own right.
Yeah, Buck Rogers. For fun's sake, too, we should do Masters of the Universe, Dolph Lundgren.
Yo, you know what? I saw it in the movies, bro. I saw it in the movies. I did.
Me too.
I did. Oh, man. Shout out to Dolph Lundgren. I would love to talk to him about that film.
Man.
Good Lord. Good Lord. That damn thing had nothing to do with He-Man. The He-Man that I grew up watching. If we ever do Masters of the Universe cartoon, I'm warning you right now, the gay undertones in that film, I can't get through it. You know, I got the whole seasons on box set. I couldn't get through one episode.
Man, that's crazy.
Stormy, it's the gayest thing you could ever see. I watched it and I'm looking at the intro now and I'm like, wait a minute. What the hell? Why is Prince Adam wearing pink? Why is he looking at the camera like that? And what the fuck is an Orko? It was creepy, bro. It was. I couldn't. I took the DVD out, I packed it up, and I never watched it. I have it. I never watched it. It's bad, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I'm already thinking about next week's show. Whether we do it next week or not, but when we do it, you're gonna have to take the lead on it.
Okay.
But it's something you had suggested already, and I'm looking at my notes here. It'd be a great one to come back with for next week. The best kung fu video games.
Oh, I got this.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to jump right into this because there's a few.
Yeah.
All the way up. There's one, Stormy, that just came out recently. Holy crap.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's what if you want to do it next week, we can do that for next week. See, because we will never run out of ideas for this show.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Real quick in the chat, do y'all remember The Legend of Cage? Man, listen. That game brought Golden Harvest films to life. Because the character had long hair and all he's doing is jumping 80 feet in the air into trees and throwing stars and fighting ninjas, trying to save a princess. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that
next week.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take screenshots of all the games.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna text it to you. You can just throw them up here as I talk about them.
Yeah, that's fine. Or you could add them just like you added this one here, from the studio. We could
we could do that. We could do that.
We could add 8 at a time, I think. 8 images at a time.
Who in the chat remembers a game called Yar Kung Fu? Came out in 1985. Oh man, we're gonna kill it, man. Watch this, bro. Yes. All right. Next week. It's on.
Yeah.
And then
what I need you to do though, I need you to send me a
the list.
No, a image of one that we could use for a thumbnail. So I can use
definitely
thumbnail to advertise for the show.
And we can also do a boxing video game review. I'm an expert at that too. I think I pretty much played all of them. Everyone. Did you know Barry McGuigan had a boxing video game?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had it for a system called Intellivision back in the day. Barry McGuigan's boxing. Yep. Oh yeah, man. Man, but this was great, brother. This was great, man. Shout out to Popeye. Rest in power, Robin Williams, man. If y'all never saw this film, please watch it. Please watch it. Please watch it. It's a great film. It's a cartoony film. And contrary to popular belief, I think he should have gotten an Academy for this because he played it so well. He brought that character to life.
He really did. He really did.
Robin Williams is a genius. So with that being said, I got to get out of here. I got mad stuff to do tomorrow morning. Right after my live, I got to literally run out the door. Absolutely, man. Stormy slam dunk once again. I can't wait for next week. That's going to be dope.
Do you want me to play the special clip before you leave?
Please do. Yes. Please do. Shout out to all the nerds. Please play that clip right now.
This is a special dedication for all of us nerds out here, you guys. So please just take this in.
What's up with your face?
What do you mean?
Your face. What is that?
It's my new look.
Your new look? What are you trying to be?
Wolverine.
Like the superhero Wolverine?
Yeah, like the super.
You're an adult. You're not a kid.
What the fuck?
No. You need to change that.
No.
You gotta change it.
No.
You look stupid.
I'm not shaving my fucking beard.
Why?
Because it's fucking cool.
No, it's not. You look like a
Oh my goodness, man.
I'm there crying. Oh my God. Oh.
All right,
my
guys.
God.
If you guys gonna stay on, take your positive energy on over. Follow Drew to the Painful Excellence podcast coming up very shortly. Drew, thank you so much, man. We had a great one. This evening,
I'm
man.
done for the night. I'm done for the night.
Oh, you done? Okay, no painful tonight. Okay, but man, hey, hey, that's a great note to end on. That's what I'll say about that, man. But
that was awesome.
thank you everybody for tuning in. We're gonna head on out of here. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, and we'll catch you guys next week for another Nerds. Peace to everybody out there. Peace.